have defend as well, which is going to be infinitely useful against that ancient protector. But Nicker looks like he's going to try and get maybe a couple just sort of blocks rather than surrounds on some of these footmen and try and chase it down with the Dark Ranger, although he doesn't really have boots of speed, so it's going to be pretty hard for him to do that. And meanwhile, some towers now going up in Nicker's base, and just guard towers. Obviously, arcane towers are alright against the skeletons, but really, when you want to take down these buildings with these towers, which is really what you want to do, because you don't want to waste your food on doing that, the guard towers obviously are so much better. And another Tree of Life going out here in a little sticky position. Obviously, he doesn't need to build it there, but it's a bit nice just to have it hidden. But Cass does scout it, and I guess it just will get cancelled here. And meanwhile, Nicker now running in and taking out this one water elemental. He probably will get it before it times out, and that must be level 5. Yeah, he is on level 5 now. And he could actually get a surround here if he's careful, but no, he doesn't manage to. And these guard towers are going up, and those are just going to destroy these huntresses, so Nicker really does need to be careful to get better positioning. It looks like he's trying to run out of the range of as many guard towers as possible, but still taking a lot of damage on his units, and he will have to run away, I think, from this fight. Just not one that he can win confidently. And these water elementals obviously doing a lot of piercing damage as well. I wonder if Cass is starting to tech. Yeah, he has actually started. Ooh, he's fairly into his tech now as well. And these footmen now coming back. Obviously with defend, there's not really much that Nicker can do, because he's upgrading his expansion to a Tree of Ages as well. Obviously, that would actually do some decent damage if he could trick Cass into running next to it, but that would be pretty tricky anyways. And some nice micro there, getting a really low footman away, and some nice use of hide as well by Nicker, but he is a bit surrounded here. I think he does have the root out if he needs it, and he does take the root out, and gets a couple of footman kills as well with his Dark Ranger, which means he gets a couple of skeletons up, and those things just have so much experience because they are level 3 skeletons now, and it just takes so long to kill them. And meanwhile, Huntress is still 0-0 upgraded, and Footman still 0-0 upgraded. Probably not even a blacksmith down yet for Cass. And nice use of hide here by Nicker. He used it well in just the previous skirmish as well. And actually, yeah, nice. As you can see, there's such high damage means that it's really hard to micro away Footman if the Dark Ranger isn't obscured, because he can just chase you down, and you need to run back with a lot of hit points to even make it worthwhile doing that, because otherwise he'll just go down and you'll get a free skeleton as well. And meanwhile, tier 2 now out, and arcane vaults going up, but no arcane sanctums yet. Increased lumber harvesting, and a mountain king. That's pretty sensible. And a expansion going up here. Obviously these towers are now up. I'm not sure that any of them are within range of the moon. Well, maybe this one is. And one expansion is now obviously this expansion, if it does manage to go up, would be very nice for Cass, because it will give him the tech advantage as well as the gold advantage, because Nicker never actually managed to rebuild that expansion that he was trying to build. And looks like this one town hall will actually go down though, but a lot of damage being taken on the Dark Ranger. He does have a healing potion if he needs it, and he's down to 100 hit points, just under 100 hit points now. He does burn the healing potion. I'm not even sure if he needed to. Looks like he probably will. Yeah, it goes down to 492. He was wise to use it. And the Archmage just gonna focus down this last Moonwell. Makes sense. I mean, he could just leave his water elementals to do it, I guess, and just summon one more later. But there's not really much creeping nearby, so it's sort of a sensible move. And meanwhile, Nicker does have these 2 Ancient of Wars, and he hasn't really used them for anything in a while, because he did tech, and he actually his Hunter's Soul is very late as well. Obviously it got destroyed in his main, but it's going to mean that he's not going to be able to build lords for a while. Maybe he's going to go for winds instead. I wouldn't really go for winds with Dark Ranger normally, especially against towers, but maybe that's a strategy. Maybe that's worth doing just for the time. And one peasant killed there, and then getting 1 extra dark minion, and looks like Nicker might actually run in now and try and do a bit of harassment while he can. But these militia, actually, I think Cass is unaware and just getting a bit caught out here, and it looks like at least one's going to go down, a couple more will probably go down as well. Obviously it's a bit hard to sort of chase down units with huntresses just because they get in each other's way, and then stuff like that. But boost of speed actually being dropped and then not picked up, that's a bit careless by Cass. I think he meant to drop it for his Mountain King, but then just forgot when he had to run back, and looks like he's oh no, he isn't even running his Mountain King back now. He should be careful to try and pick it up. And this Archmage is now level 5, but does get surrounded immediately. Very nice play there by Nicker, and doesn't have a TP, so he was just going to fall, and that's going to take a really long time to come back. And level 6 now on the Dark Ranger, obviously that gives him charm, and actually needs to be careful now that he doesn't lose his Dark Ranger. It's at 4 hit points, it does go down. That's really unfortunate for him. That's going to take a very long time to go to come back. He managed to get a footman out of it, and obviously that footman does have defense, so he'll be alright against these towers, but he is just going to he's just gonna sort of let it die by the looks of things. Meanwhile, the Mountain King doing very well for itself. It just came out. It's almost level 3 already, and he just killed a Huntress back there as well. And the Archmage being tethered back, and I imagine the Dark Ranger will be as well, because it's just so hard to play without your hero, especially when you have to play for so long. And I'm not even sure. Does he have his altar up? I can't see one. Maybe not. 2 Ancient of Lords going down there, and the Dark Ranger is bought back. That's really expensive for him, but it's really the wise choice at this point. And these water elementals just being left to sort of chase around Huntresses. Obviously, they can do a fair bit of damage, and just it's very wise just to leave them to attack while you can, and just sort of get in some preliminary damage. And this one wisp being caught out a bit, and it looks like it will just get killed, and it doesn't. Knicker does manage to detonate on this. I think this is an online game, so there's probably a bit of lag and a bit of delay. And Dryad's now being produced. Obviously, he's still tier 2, so we're not going to be seeing bears for a little while at least. And when these 2 Ancient of Wars are here, you think that Knicker could move them in, maybe get Nature's Blessing, and then try and use it in conjunction with his hero and his units to try and take out these towers. Obviously, these towers also be nice to take out, but one thing at a time. And meanwhile, this Dark Ranger is now healed up to back up to full health. And really, really Charm is just such a powerful spell that Knicker's going to need to be careful, or Cass is going to need to be careful about what units he builds. It'll probably be wise to build a lot of weak units as opposed to a couple strong ones, because obviously just letting them steal 1 weak unit is a lot better than letting them steal 1 strong unit. And the Archmage getting a bit caught out here, but he does manage to get away. He doesn't Knicker doesn't manage to get a Huntress around him, and Dryads are out, but I'm not sure if he has evolved magic yet. We can take a look. Maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. I'm not sure. Yeah, he looks like he does. And Knicker has actually stolen one of these water elementals, you can see as well. Obviously, they just do so much damage, and really, it's even though it's still on a timer, it's well worth stealing just in case. And Knicker is now using these Ancient of Wars. Okay, he's just gonna try and take out these scout towers rather than the guard towers nearby, but he can just eat a tree and take these down quite quickly. He can even root his Dark Ranger, even root his Ancient of War if he wants to take less damage but have less mobility. And the Dryad's still being produced. Obviously, he's still at tier 2, and so that's probably all we're going to see for a while. Maybe we're going to see just a mixture of Dryads and Skeletons, so obviously Skeletons are very good at tanking. And the Mountain King looks like he's in a bit of trouble there, taking a fair bit of damage. But and water elementals can now just be dispelled away for free experience, so that's pretty nice. And Cass will now lose his farm, although he doesn't really need it. He's only at 25 out of 42 food, or 25 out of 36 food now. And it looks like this Mountain King might actually get away, because he has picked up the Boots of Speed again that he had forgotten earlier. And these towers were upgrading, and Knicker scouted this earlier with a couple skeletons, as you saw, and it looks like he might now try and move in, although he doesn't really have much in terms of just killing units. He might just try and kill this one peasant and then run away and then not bother to kill the towers. And yeah, he does, and he gets that one skeleton and then decides to run off. And meanwhile, this Ancient of War looks like he looks like he lost 1 Ancient of War to towers, but he has rooted the other one. And Cass is trying to repair it, but Knicker will manage to drain a lot of economy, although he won't be able to kill, which is a bit of a shame. And Knicker is now putting up a Tree of Life just at this alternate sort of expansion position, and I guess this would technically be your natural, but I'm not. But obviously, Plunder Isle, this one's a viable first mine as well. Obviously, it's a bit harder to reach for them as for your opponent, and it's a bit less likely to be scouted, especially with this new 2-path system. And 1 Dryad now going down. But the Mountain King, fairly low health, but does have a healing potion and does have Boots of Speed, so he might be okay, although he's actually running back. He does just pop his healing potion. Looks like this one more Dryad will go down. Yeah. Oh, a very nice cancel there, or deny there by Knicker. Playing pretty smart, Knicker. And Knicker, meanwhile, just running his Dark Ranger into the towers by the looks of things, and getting a bit caught out there. It's a bit of a shame, but meanwhile, it looks like he's going to have to buy that back in the tavern again. That's a bit careless by him. Cast is now at tier 2, and he is now producing a couple more casters than he was before. Obviously, casters are pretty good against Charm, just in that it's not really worth just stealing one, because it's not really as effective as just as stealing something like a knight or something like that. And the Dark Ranger is almost level 7 now, and it looks like he will just creep this out. Obviously, he can't get any more experience, but he can get gold, he can get items, and he doesn't really have anything else to be doing with his time, so it's well worth it. And Knicker has actually charmed a peasant. That's really nice for him. He's putting up a tower, and so he will be playing sort of with 2 races by the looks of things. Obviously, towers are human towers are just so good. especially just an arcane tower is so nice against something like an Archmage and a Mountain King. And it looks like that's sort of what Nicker's going to be, or what Cass is going to be staying with, because he doesn't want many units to be stolen. And you can see he's even producing footmen still, just because if they are stolen by charm, it's not really a huge loss. And Nicker now producing a lumber mill, so maybe he's going to go for a guard tower. I'd personally think that a arcane tower would be more fun, but I guess to each their own. And Nicker only at 36 food actually, although I imagine Cass is at even less. Cass has now finally finished his expansion. He is only at 31 food though, and I guess they both have a lot tied up in economy as well. And these Dryads are now running in. I think they're just here to scout, because obviously they can't creep anything here. And meanwhile Cass is continuing to creep, but he really should pull his Archmage back, because he wants to get the experience on his Mountain King, and looks like he is going to pull his Archmage back in just in time, and get on. He will get level 4 from this camp as well, and get a Scroll of the Beast. Not a great item in this situation where he's not going to be massing too big an army, I imagine. And still no more experience for Nicker, obviously, because he's only been creeping, but he does have an illusion, and that might be good just for baiting a bolt or something. But we'll have to see. And one more footman is still, and obviously charm has such a short cooldown. You're best just to sort of use it whenever you can, and it doesn't cost that much mana either.